And we are recording. Welcome to another great episode of the Darren Green Show. I'm your humble host, Darren Green. I believe this is episode 159. Don't quote me on it. If you're watching this podcast on YouTube, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and also leave a comment because we love comments. I'd like to, formally announce that I'm joined with popular artist and mutual of mine on TikTok, Akil Elijah. How are you?
I am great. Thank you so much for having me today. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well.
Can't complain. Can't complain these days.
I know that's right. Look, is it hot over there where you at? Where are you at currently?
No, I live in Toronto, so it is not hot. It actually is. It's a snowstorm right now, so that's fine.
Not a snowstorm. Now, I thought we was a little close.
No, it was so warm these last few days. Like last 2 days has been warm for us. Like I don't know what it is Fahrenheit, but for us it's like 10 degrees or like 5 degrees.
Oh my.
And then it just started snowing today, so that's fun.
Well, see, I like the cold, so I mean, it don't matter to me.
I hate the cold. I'm a summer put me on a beach type of boy. That's what I am.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I guess so. So what brings you on the Darren Green Show?
Well, nothing specific. I love just talk and I love to get into it, especially with other like creators and other like creatives and seeing you do your thing. It's inspiring one way or another. So I think this is just like the perfect place to have like any sort of convo. I don't know what you have lined up, but I'm excited for anything because I think that's just one of my favorite parts about being an artist is having these kinds of conversations, like
right,
whether they're broadcasted or not, like just having the opportunity to speak with other creators and other people who are doing things similar to what you're doing and just having those natural moments and expanding conversations about different things regarding music, arts, entertainment is just what I love to do.
Oh, that's a great because really I wanted to ask because I was actually gonna approach you like because I was I was getting into the new year. I was like, I'm trying to figure out who can I have as guests and stuff like that, the lineup. And it was so surprising that you hit me up. I was like, oh snap, okay, look.
Really? No, I saw you like talking about like you want to like
and I seen the video I made.
Oh my gosh, yes, I want to do that. Like I was like, of course, like why wouldn't I?
Period. Now we've been mutuals on TikTok for a minute now. I don't know if you remember, but I think I stitched one of your videos, right?
I think so. I don't know because this is my third account, so it could have been on my first, could have been on my second, could have been.
All right, we're gonna get into it.
Yeah, there's a lot of accounts, so probably.
Yes, I stitched your video, and I didn't because see, I heard of you when my other mutual Robbie, you know him, Double Minority.
Yes.
He did a video on you, and I was like, oh, this what he did a show at what, and we're gonna get into that. And I was like, okay, he interesting. I looked at your page. I'm like, oh, we follow each other already. I'm like, oh. I'm like, okay, well, look, let me see what's going on. So I always ask a lot of my mutuals that's on TikTok. I feel like I'm loud. Oof. What is it like for you on the app? Like, I know you said you've been on there like 3 times. How's your experience been?
Honestly, the app has not been the best to me. Like, I'll keep it candid. I'll keep it a buck. Like, we know the real what goes on with TikTok, but where it has been good to me is building that community and building that like I don't want to say fan base because I don't like that word. Like I only have 47,000 followers. It's not fans, but people who are interested in what I do and people that support me. That's what I love. Like, there's people that don't know me from a can of paint. Like you don't know me from nowhere, but they're the first people that are messaging me about my music and like streaming my music and saying they love me and putting my music on like their playlist. And that's what keeps me on the app is building those connections, whether it's one person or 10 people. I'm like this is what I love. That's what I love about the app. But everything else is like that the experience is mediocre, but like the relationships and the community that you build is worthwhile.
Yeah, you do meet a lot of good people on there. I mean, it's stuff because I've been on Instagram, I've been on other apps and stuff like that, and I never got as much as I did when I came here. So it's always it's really good to start like to build your fan base or supportership, whatever you want to call it. I call them listeners. Exactly. Right. Now I wanted to get your thoughts because I was going to ask a couple questions about TikTok, and then we're going to get into what we're going to get into. But what was your situation about this Nicki situation, child?
Okay, first of all, let's just like not to be that type of person, but that's my sister in my head. Okay, she
Right.
has liked a handful of my videos. She's replied to my comments, like like
No, I
we're
be
like
seeing. I'm like, oh, okay, Nicki, yes.
we're like there. So, and with that being said, I still have um the ability and the critical thinking to hold her accountable, and I think that's okay. Like I think if Nicki was here right now, like I would have those conversations about the things that she said, because I think that's okay to question your favorite artist, or to have and to have like honest conversations with them. So I'm not I wasn't like engulfed into like the whole drama with like the other TikToker lady. I don't know her name. Well, I do know her name, but I wasn't really like engulfed into it. I didn't care too much for it. I just thought it was interesting that, especially her, the other person, her platform being over 2 million followers, I found it very interesting that she used her platform to condemn and critique Nicki instead of critiquing TikTok. But then at the same time, I don't find it interesting, because I'm sure that she loves the followers that she has, and TikTok has given her a lot, being she has 2 million followers. So why would she critique them? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I found that very interesting. And then I did find it interesting that once she did critique Nicki, she was acting like she didn't. And that's something that like happens a lot, whatever. So I didn't agree with what she said necessarily, and I didn't necessarily agree with how Nicki handled it. The like
she responded,
post, I thought it was a bit excessive. Like I thought it was like, okay, like you don't need to do this, sis. Like don't let these people draw you out your character. But like the first post, I got it. It's like, okay, like you have someone with 2 million followers saying that you're doing a PR stunt. I think like in that instance, like you have every right to react and say what you want to say. I just think it wasn't needed to have for it to go on the way it went on. It just like further fueled the people that do not like Nicki to say different things about her. I had like some people that I was mutuals with, no longer mutuals with, get in on it, and then they were attacking me. I was blocked by so and so people that I've never seen or heard of. It's a whole lot.
Now, see, I did see your video on it. I think you kept it pretty neutral. Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of derailing to take the attention off of TikTok and to bring it on to Nicki. I mean, but a lot of people kind of look at celebrities as everything you do is a PR stunt, which sometimes is not always the case. How you respond is also important as well. And I actually did not speak about this on my TikTok. And there was some people, there was some mutuals that when I was like, because I'd have other shows with people and other collaborations with people, and they were like, well, I just feel like, because they know I'm a Nicki fan. Like, look, I put that on front. I'm a Barb too.
Period.
What you think? They be wanting to ask you like to make sure to see where your head at. I'm like, okay,
exactly.
look.
And also too, my thing is like kind of going back to what you were just saying. Everyone wants to ask and like see what's going on, and when I did give my stance, like it was neutral, like you're saying. Like I chose to keep the blame on TikTok because that's why I feel had the most fault. And I think something that was interesting was everyone that weekend, shout out to Charmy, she said this, everyone that weekend learned a new word, PR stunt. Nobody knows what a PR stunt really is, because that would not be a PR stunt. Of course, Nicki going into that TikTok meeting was a part of PR, which is public relations. That's what PR stands for. So, of course, that's a part of her public relations. That's how she interacts with her fans and the community that she's built. But it's not a stunt. It was never a stunt. And I think this is something that's very interesting, because I commented this under one of the videos about the girl like posting about Nicki. I said, I wonder like what are her qualifications to say like this is a PR stunt, because she's saying in my qualifications or in my whatever, like did you go to school for this, or are you just speaking because your crystals told you to say this? Like what's really
not crystals.
So I was just really wondering. I was really curious. But
Now I know her. She I don't know her. No, I mean I'm fond of her videos, but yeah, I was a little taken back about it as well. I was like, okay, I mean, it's kind of like
yeah, it was very out the way. And I have seen her videos before too, and I have liked a few of her videos. I didn't follow her, but I have liked a few of her videos, and normally she's pretty on the nose, but I just felt like this was a bit like unwarranted and a bit weird, especially considering like the blame was really on TikTok, and she never ever chose to say that at all. Like it was really weird.
But there's this thing of always, you got to be the one with the different take. That's the numbers. That's what gets the the traction and the impressions
Exactly.
and all that. Yeah.
And it
So
did that for her. She did get a lot of numbers. She got a lot of she got it. So
Child, enough about this TikTok shit. Aside from TikTok, now you have been doing your thing, okay? That's from dropping dope visuals, projects, you know, with your I think you came out with your EP, or were those considered those EPs?
EPs, yes.
Your live shows, and all in the span of 5 years, because I seen you post about that the other day, saying that you've been rapping for 5 years now.
Yes.
Like, that's so crazy, because I was like thinking about I was like, oh my God, I've been doing this podcast and then what I've been doing for like 5 years too. So it's like everything is coming to full circle. How does it feel?
This is very interesting that you're asking this, because I was really just like sitting on the bus today when I was like doing my errands, running around, whatever. I was listening to my own music, and I was just really taking like the time to really reflect and congratulate myself, because I think especially as like creatives and as artists, we don't take the time to do that. We're always so busy like comparing ourselves, or what we want to achieve next, or what's next, or how can we get to where we want to go. Like, but there's something so beautiful about being in the moment of where you are. And I think that's something that I was doing today. I was like, yo, like I started doing this just like for fun in high school, and now it's taking me so many places. It's become a lifestyle of mine. It's become my everything, and I'm so thankful for that. And I'm so thankful for, again, the people that I've met, the communities that I've built from doing this. So I was really taking the time today to like really sit in and sink in that moment.
Yeah, because I feel like you'll get out of your, like, it's the moment of, you know, you getting out of your own head when you think about like, oh my goodness, I need to be doing this, I need to be doing that. But like, it's like you've come so far, and you know, sometimes you have to sit back and realize it, even if, because I feel like now as a content creator and as maybe an artist too, just always looking at numbers. I mean, how has that affected productivity of your work? Because I know it affects me a lot, because I had it, so I was like, I'm not looking at my analytics for a whole week until the next episode to see how the whole week that board. And it's hard, because sometimes you want to be like, oh, okay, what's going on, let's see if we can do this.
It's addicting, because even with Spotify, when you have Spotify for artists, you can go, when you release a song that first week of the release, you can see live who is listening to that song, and the numbers update live. So like, I released the song right now, and one person goes and listens, I will see, it'll say 0 streams, and then once they're finished listening, it'll update and say 1 stream. So it can be very toxic. Like, it's very it adds like another like pressure, I guess, you know, where you're trying to detach yourself from the numbers, because the numbers don't necessarily reflect how good your art is. It reflects your art's relationship to the algorithm. So it's not telling of who you really are as an artist. And I think that's something very important that I've had to teach myself, especially with Instagram, TikTok, everything, like the likes, the analytics, all of it. It can pull on you as a creator.
Yeah, I was saying it to other creators. It's like almost like a drug. I think I said it to Medusa. I'm not sure if you know her, but she it was like, you know, it's like a drug to a lot of people, and sometimes you have to break out of that. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit now. You are a Toronto-based rapper.
Yes.
You never at one point lived in New York, though?
No.
I don't know, because I feel like because I used to watch your videos, and I could have sworn you said you was in New York.
No, it's just everyone asked me if I'm from New York. I'm not from New York. Everyone asked me that. And
are you from New York even?
Are you from New York even? And I can do I can do a good New York accent. I can do a good London accent, but no, I'm not. I've never lived in New York, but I've been to New York like in the last like 2 years. I've been a few times. But I do love, like, a lot of like my favorite artists and rappers especially come from New York. That's where a bulk of my inspiration comes from. So I guess that can explain like my lingo or the way I talk, because of the people that I grew up listening to. But I'm not from New York.
Okay. So I know I read somewhere where you said that your belief is that rap is meant to be storytelling, and I just wanted to know, how do you feel rap nowadays? Are we missing that?
Yes, very much so, very much so. And this is what a lot of people get confused when I say that. So when I say storytelling, I don't expect everyone to be like Nas or J. Cole or Kendrick and like tell you a story and walk you through their day at the park, and then they went to the corner store and they got a drink, and then they went home and played video games and smoked. Like, that's not the type of story that I'm talking about. I just think like rap is much more interesting when someone's conveying a clear message. So when you are writing and you put the time to write and like really get something across and paint a picture, whether that picture is the corner store to the bus to the whatever, or the picture is you at the club having fun, like there's ways you can create a picture that is just as entertaining no matter what the subject matter is. And I think that's a bit lost. And I think that has to do with like people not necessarily wanting to advance on the art of rap. Like, you know, people don't care about their writing. They don't care about their penmanship. They don't care about the skill of writing. It's just like, as long as it sounds good, we put it out. And I think that's where the storytelling comes in, is like when you have a good like foundation of writing and you're able to really, really push your pen, then you can create a good story no matter what the story is about. And it doesn't have to be profound or deep or metaphoric or anything like that. It can literally just be anything. But when your pen is so advanced and you come up with these metaphors and similes, you create these stories and you paint these pictures so that your music translate as art.
Yeah. And you're just putting extra work into it. I think, you know, I listened before we got on this interview, I listened to a lot of your songs, and you the lyricism, just your voice, like you have a distinctive voice. And I just wanted to ask that too. I was like, is that something that like you had to hone in on or to perfect, or was that did it come natural?
A little bit of both. So I started the reason why I guess my voice or like my cadence is the way it is because before I started doing rap, I was a spoken word artist. And I still do spoken word and I still do like poetry and things like that. But I was really just like a spoken word artist. Like I'm talking like I was going to slams every weekend, competing. I've traveled doing spoken word. Like, you know, that's where I started out as an artist. And then when I shifted into rap, I had to find my voice a little bit. But once I found it and I was in my pocket, it really like I really couldn't be stopped. Like, you know, and I would say like when I was in high school and I first started rapping, I didn't like my voice. There's a lot of times where I was like really trying to play around with how I wanted to say things and how I wanted to speak. But then eventually I just let it come out naturally. Like however I felt like saying it was how I said it. And then that's just how it was. Like it just came to me. It was always there, but it had to transform itself a little.
Okay. Well, what's one of your favorite visuals that you recently came out with?
It would probably. I don't know. That's hard.
Not that hard.
I love Just Do It. Just Do It, I think, is my last visual.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a really good one.
Just Do It is my last visual that I did. I love Just Do It, but I think my favorite visual that I've ever done is called Verge of Gemini. It was I think a 7 or 9 minute like visual EP. So I put 3 songs together, 2 songs with the spoken word interlude, and it was a story of just a lot of different things. There's such a big meaning and like conceptual meaning behind it that I really like sat and thought about. I think that'd be my favorite. Yeah, between that and Just Do It. Yeah.
Okay, and you do your own like directing and so you do that for your visual as well?
Yeah, so for the most part. So I have my videographer and director that I work with. Shout out Isabel. She is like the mastermind behind the camera. But like when it comes to the vision of like actual things happening, I guess we like direct and we co-direct with each other. But the vision is always me. Like I literally sit down and listen to a song over and over again. And I always tell people how I plan out my music videos is literally second by second. So everything that you see in my video was already in my head before we even got down and shot the video. I wrote it down. I put, okay, from 0 seconds to 5 seconds, I want this clip. Then from 6 seconds to 8 seconds, I want this. Like that's how I break down my video. So vision is very much me.
Period. Okay. Now, I wanted to talk about your initial project, Libertine. What was the thought process behind this project? I want to start with that question.
Well, if I like, it's a little bit of different things. So the concept of the project was that I wanted to create something that was well-rounded and really showed my artistry, because when you listen to Libertine, it's so many different types and styles and like variations of rap and music. Like I have storytelling, like classic, like Nas sort of Meek Mill vibes. Then I have like pop rock, and then I have like eclectic. Then I have like pop rap, and then I have like a little bit of like R&B pop rap thing going on there. So there's a lot of things. So that was like the concept, like the concept in my head was that I want this to be something that was diverse and that was well-rounded. But then when it came down to actually having the songs, those songs are actually all throwaways. So they were all songs that I recorded in the last year or two. And I was like, I don't know what to do with, like, I just spent like all of 2020 and most of 2021 just going to the studio recording. And I was like, I'm not gonna drop all of these as singles. I'll be dropping those until like the day I die. Like, that's a lot of singles. I was like, okay, so then let's put it on a project. And like I just played around with the order, and I still have more songs that I'm putting onto another EP. That I was playing. I played around with the order, and I was like, this is it. Like, this is how this order of songs or this order of music is what matches the concept that I had originally thought of.
Yeah. And I also seen you did like, you have a lot of like different collabs with other people too. And it's it was an interesting EP that you came out with. I enjoyed the I Hate You I Do song.
That's one of my favorites.
Is one of your favorites. It was so different. Like it was a different genre. Now, do you see yourself dabbling in other genres?
Oh, 110%. Like, do not, like, anybody now listening, whoever's there, do not expect me to ever like stay just in rap. Like, that's actually my plan for like the coming future. I've released Libertine. The kind of second part of Libertine, which drops in 2 hours, is In My Bag Again, which is a rap, like another rap project EP. But then once that's over with, once I'm done rapping for a little bit and I like drop a mixtape, I want to like go into like pop. I definitely want to go into pop rap, pop rock, very, very different. I want to just explore music. I think music is so beautiful and deserves to be explored no matter what type of music you make.
Have you thought about doing other mediums of content? Far as, because I mean, I know you're on TikTok and you do sometimes you do like the hot topics. I see you that pertains to like music in a way. Have you ever thought of changing it up, or maybe just being more vocal on YouTube? Because you see a lot of artists do that, like they do vlogs and conversations.
Yeah, so I do want to do that kind of stuff. I've thought of a few series of like things that pertain to my music. So like, for example, doing my own kind of like genius breakdowns. I think it would just be very interesting because there's so many bars that I just like, I want people to listen and be like, I want to be like, do you get it? Like, do you get it? Like, I want to ask every single person to listen to the song, like, do you get it? Did you get this bar? So I want to do like a genius breakdown. There's things like that, vlogs. When I start traveling and doing different things, I want to do vlogs. I've tried to do YouTube before. It just takes a lot of time. Editing is a lot of work.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I don't have the time. Like, it's a lot of work, so that's a commitment. But I do like editing, like little bits and pieces. So I can see myself definitely branching out to like YouTube and trying to migrate. Honestly, my platform on TikTok, the more it builds, I want to migrate it into other social media.
Yes, that's what you want to do. Because people will sit there and stay on that app, and I'm like, you don't know if this is going to be another Vine. Now people say, this app is too popular to be that,
but so
you never know.
And Instagram was once that. Instagram is dying out. So even if it's 5 years from now, it's gonna go. We got to make sure we mobilize our platform and make sure that we stay like active and relevant if we want to like really take our work to like new levels.
So you did mention this. You're working on a new project and it's called In My Bag.
Yes.
Give the listeners what's in store for this EP.
So this one is a little bit different from Libertine. Like the name says, in my bag again. Like, I am in my rap bag. So there's a lot of heavy hitting rap. This is kind of like the second part of Libertine. Again, all throwaways, but I was like, these songs go together because they all have a very similar vibe. It's just, if you want to get into that like hard-hitting rap, you can't tell me nothing. I'm in the gym, I'm lifting 20 pounds, but it feels like 10,000. You can't do nothing to me. Then you can listen to In My Bag Again. Like, this is gonna be that kind of project where it gives you that oomph and that like that real raw, gritty like rap.
Oh, okay, yes. All right. Well, I can't wait to hear it. Now you released the track list, and you also already had a single from that EP that already came out. I listened to it earlier today. It was it was rap. Okay,
exactly. That's the vibe.
The lyrics. Now you also, just to, I guess, to piggyback off your other content, like you also do like freestyles. I see you all the time on my For You page. I'll be like, okay,
yeah, that's one thing that I really pride myself on, is like my ability to freestyle because not everybody can free. And when I say freestyle, so people have their own definitions of freestyle, but when I freestyle is freestyle. Like, especially if you ever like go into my TikTok lives, I'm always just like, it's off the dome. Like, you could give me a word, you could give me a beat, you could give me nothing, and like I just rap off the dome. Like, that's what I do. Like, I just love to just freestyle. Like, I walk around my house just freestyling. Like, when I'm outside and I'm walking to the store, like I'm rapping out loud, I'm freestyling. Like, that's just what I do. Yeah, I love it. It's a skill that I definitely had to build up, but it's something that I always love doing.
And it's something that it came natural to you, or you had to, like I said earlier with the voice, you had to work into it. You have to. I mean, because rhyming it's a lot of people in the industry don't really be freestyling like that.
Yeah, like,
how do we get here?
People have their own definitions of freestyle. So there's the industry freestyle, which is like it's just rapping over somebody else's beat. That's what they call a freestyle, which anyone can do. But like when it comes to like really like rhyming off the dome, like really just rapping and going. I actually kind of always had that. Like when I look back at my Snapchat memories from like grade 9 or like when I was like 14 or whatever, like I would just be in my room on Snapchat just like freestyling. And when I look back at it, I'm like, yo, that's still pretty good for like someone in high school, like, you know. But now it's like, now because my writing has improved and because I like focus on my writing for so long, my freestyles have also improved, and like my freestyles can sound like written. Like they like sometimes they have whole structures, they have whole verses and whole hooks.
Now you have an array of influences, you know, rap influences. One, Nicki Minaj, I think you said also Missy Elliott, Chance the Rapper.
Yeah, she's one of my influences, like musicality and visual wise, definitely.
Yeah, visual. I can see because I can see it in just the way that you act in the visuals. Like it's like, oh my goodness, you have that star quality, and I think that we're missing that in a lot of, you know, rising artists. And you know, we're in the age now where, you know, you can pick up a phone and start recording something. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm a singer, but like you take it serious with when it comes to the also the sound too, the production. I mean, what could you say to any coming up artists that are trying to, you know, make it into the music industry?
Yeah, what I tell, like I kind of like spoke about this on my TikTok recently. Really like do your history or do your homework about your history, especially as a rapper. Like I find too many people want to start rapping, but they don't even know what rap is. Like, you know, like they don't know who came before them. They don't know like what's the point of rapping, and especially like you don't have to come from struggle to be a rapper, because of course we know the history of rap, where it comes from, how it was made. It's like, you know, a lot of marginalized communities, Black communities expressing themselves in an art form that was so like native to them, and like there's so much history to it, especially for Black Americans. There's so much history, but you know, people don't take the time to learn about it. And I think that's such a shame, because it can really like increase the value of your work when you are able to sit down and like, when people ask you who your inspirations are and all your inspirations came out in the last 5 years, it's like, damn, like, you know, like, do you care about this art form? Do you care about the longevity? Do you care about how your work sounds? Like, do you want your work to be timeless, or do you just want to be like these people and be relevant for the next 5 years? You know, I think that's one of my biggest things, is like study your history, figure out who are the GOATs, who are your GOATs, because everyone will have their own set of GOATs and their own top 10 or their own top 5. Yours doesn't have to be the same 5 people that were put on Rap Genius, or the same 5 people that were put on, you know, Double XL. Like, those don't have to be your GOATs. Figure out what your style is and who you want to be and what you want to portray as an artist, and then figure that out as a business and as a brand, because that is so important. And that is something that I'm learning too, but that doesn't come for a long time. Allow yourself to season and marinate as an artist before you even think about being a brand. Like, you're going to get convoluted and lose the meaning and lose the text and lose the interest of it all if you don't take it step by step.
Now, see, I'm getting some pointers from having this conversation, because I as a podcaster, it's like, you know, I'm worrying about so many independent, because I'm sure you're an independent artist, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you have to worry about like the production, how the thing looks, how the thing sounds. It's like, oh, you need to be on social media more. You need to be doing. I'm like, I need to be worried about this podcast.
Exactly. You're saying, like, there's like, you know, like only so much you can do. And it's just so important to just like build up your skill and your talent and your everything before you even focus on the rest. Like you got to get the foundations in. I think that's the most important thing for people coming up in any part of the entertainment industry right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's hard when when the social norm of it now is like these 2-minute songs and it has to be catchy. And I mean, how do you combat with that? Because I see you still kind of like your songs are pretty like how it was like we're talking 2 almost 3-4 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do you see yourself trying to make some songs that are that I'm not saying I don't want to use the word pandering, but like
I know what you mean. Yeah. Yes and no. Like for example, like on Libertine, pretty much all the songs are full length except for maybe like 1 or 2. But like I'll have those moments where like I will make the things that I know that will be catchier or like more, I guess, like crowd friendly. That's a good way to put it.
Okay.
I don't see myself ever like dumbing down my lyrics or like my
right
songwriting or anything that much, because I feel like it's so important. It's my favorite part about being a rapper is writing the songs and like really getting into the bars. Like every time I write, I think about how I can make the bar better than it is or than it was. Like I'm always thinking about that. So I fear that if I try and like condense the music or like continue to make it more crowd friendly, it'll just get dumber and dumber. Like we have enough of that already.
Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah. Like, oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, I forgot to ask you this because this question was actually supposed to be asked a long time ago, but you did a show with Telfar.
Yes.
What's the details? Like, how did this happen? What was the experience like?
That was the best moment of my artist career, like so far to date. Like I think about it all the time. I'm so thankful about it. Like I will start by saying the song that I did it for was called Yahoo. It was a song that I released just for fun. Like it was such a fun, cute song, whatever. And the filming of that music video was actually so stressful because something broke in the studio space, and like the studio owners were like trying to con me. It was a whole mess.
What?
It was a whole mess. Like it was something crazy. It was something crazy, and it was such a stressful moment. And I knew that song, and I was so stressed. I was like, do I even still want to like put out this song like in the way that I want to do it? Like I was just so upset and frustrated. And then to think that one song is what got me an invite to New York Fashion Week with Telfar is like it was such like a grounding moment. And it basically all happened was I released that song. It's a one single line in that song too. The whole song is about something completely different. But one single line, I said, I'm in a bigger bag than Telfar. They could tell that I'm going far. That's the line. That's the one line. And I had my Telfar bag in the music video. And when I posted it as promo, I tagged them. I posted on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter, and I tagged them. And they liked it. They liked it. I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, that's cute. Like, maybe they'll repost it one day when they're dropping that bag color again. Like, maybe they'll repost it. I think maybe 2 months went by, 2 or 3 months went by, and then I got a message about like, hey, like we saw your, like, I'm this person with this agency and we're working with Telfar on an upcoming project. We want to include your song. Can I just grab your email for details? I was like, for sure. So I was in the back room at work checking my phone, and then I saw that. I was like, oh hell yeah. So I like replied, sent them my email, and then they emailed me and we're in communication. And then that was it. They were just like, okay, like you're going to be a part of this new thing that Telfar is launching called Telfar TV, where they're going to have for the launch a lot of a continuous loop of music videos from artists that have made content pertaining to or about Telfar. I was like, for sure, like this is so dope. Like it could have ended there, and I was like, this is dope, like
Right.
And then I think it was 2 days before the New York Fashion Week event, I woke up before work and I like checked my email, but like when you're half like awake, half asleep. I checked my email and I got an email from someone, and they were like, you are invited to New York Fashion Week press conference with Telfar. And then I read it and I was like, I read the email. She said it was in New York, and I was half asleep. So I replied and literally told this girl like, sorry, I'm Toronto based. I won't be able to make it, whatever. And I fell back asleep. And then I woke up and I was like, what are you talking about, Akil? New York is a 3-hour flight. So I messaged her, I emailed her back. I was like, look, like I'll definitely be out there. I booked a flight that night. I packed my bag that night. I was on a flight the next day. I left work early to get on that flight. I went straight from work to the airport, to my aunt's house. And then me and my aunt went like to a little barbecue, slept for maybe like 4 hours, woke up, went to that event. I met Bretman Rock.
Oh, wow.
People have their opinions, but I met him. He's a really nice person.
I know he's kind of getting it on TikTok.
He's kind of getting it right now, so I'm gonna just leave it at I met him. Nice. I met him. I met young Baby Tate, or she goes by Baby Tate now. She's lovely. She was on my flight. And then I met a few other people. I made a few connections, followed a few people. It was just a great experience. And before I started rapping and even spoken word, I wanted to like do modeling or fashion, whatever. And one of my goals that I had written down in one of my notebook, every year I write like a set of goals that I want to achieve for that year. One of my goals, I think it was 2018. I said I wanted to be invited to New York Fashion Week, and to see it come to fruition and come alive in like a way that I had never expected.
You manifested it.
Exactly. I manifested it, and it came alive in such a way that I was like, damn, like I would have never expected this. Like when I tell you I was on the flight, on the car, just listening to Moment for Life, Win Again on repeat. Like those are the songs of the weekend. Like I was just like, I was like, this is my moment for life. Like it was such a lovely experience. And I'm like so grateful. And that motivated me so much as an artist, because without dropping that one song and with that one line in it, I would not have been there. And it was just one single line, one bar. That's all it took. Yeah, one bar literally changed my life. So I'm like, damn, like how else can my life change from one bar or one song?
It's gonna keep on happening. You're gonna keep on. I see your future is definitely bright. You are very talented. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I want to give you the floor to have your little shameless plugs or whatever,
Yeah, well, my name is Akil Elijah. I'm a rapper, artist, everything in between. I got my EP Libertine out now, but today, which is February 17th, and then on the 18th, my project In My Bag Again is dropping. So be sure to stream all those songs, check out everything. Find me on TikTok, Instagram at Akil Elijah. And yeah, thank you guys so much for listening and tuning in, and thank you so much for having me.
Period. Now, you can pre-save In My Bag. The link will be in the description.
Yes.
Give me the link. It drops February 18th, and can't wait to listen to it. Thank you, Akil, so much for chatting with me today. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in to the Darren Green Show. And until next time, I am your host, Darren Green, and this is the Darren Green Show signing out.